Chinese farmer's first time in America, and he was humiliated by 3 sheriffs. I wouldn't do that again if I were you. A chink who had just gotten off the ship could actually speak English. The sheriffs immediately started jeering, like they were teasing a monkey. But he was never afraid of trouble. I didn't travel halfway across the world in that damn boat, just to amuse a few fat white fucks. This same level racial comeback instantly enraged the 3 sheriffs. They immediately took off their jackets, ready to teach this damn chink a lesson with their fists. But the next second... Fucker! My name is Ashan. This is my first day arriving in San Francisco, but my purpose is not to search for gold. It is to find my sister. But what I didn't know was that making this move would completely change my fate. Because my fighting skills were noticed by Wang Zhou nearby. He is the know-it-all of Chinatown, specializing in moving between powerful white elites and the Chinese community. He saw my value because being able to fight is the hardest currency in Chinatown. Soon I was brought before Hop Wei Tong, the biggest power in Chinatown. Wang Zhou boasted about my strength to them. Taking on 3 people alone was absolutely not a problem.
I don't think so.
I'm guessing they don't pay you to do the thinking. It was exactly because of my arrogant words that I immediately gained Xiao Zun's appreciation. He instantly threw a stack of cash to Wang Zhou. Only then did I realize that I had been sold to the gang by him, but I didn't care. After all, with the gang's identity, the efficiency of finding my sister would only be higher that night. Xiao Zun took me to a restaurant for some fun. After the landlady found out, she immediately called in a line of girls for us to choose from. But right now, I had no mind for that.
Is this all of them?
You mean there's no one in this entire group that meets your standards?
I'm looking for someone. She would have crossed about 2 years ago. Her name is Zhao Jing. The moment I said this name, the landlady's face instantly changed. Not long after, a group of people suddenly appeared. They were from Long Ji Tong, the second gang in Chinatown.
Is this the onion who was asking about Xiaojing?
No. That was me.
Then I guess you're coming with us.
I instantly realized that the clue to my sister was right in front of me. Thanks, but it seemed this fight was unavoidable. Xiao Zun and I exchanged a glance. This was also the first time he had seen my fighting skills. And the people from Long Ji Tong became furious from embarrassment and all pulled out their axes. They thought they had strength in numbers, until I fought 10 of them alone. This battle made me certain that my sister was definitely still alive, and was also connected to Long Ji Tong. What surprised me was that this battle not only made me famous, it also made the leader of Hop Wei Tong personally appear, and brand me with the gang's mark. From then on, I was completely accepted by Hop Wei Tong. He walked through Chinatown wearing a suit, and pedestrians stepped aside when they saw me. But I never forgot my purpose for coming to America. While Xiao Zun was collecting protection money, I secretly came to Long Ji Tong's territory.
What the fuck, man? Heading in this direction is Long Ji territory. You stay out. You get me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now that I finally had clues about my sister, how could I give up so easily? That night, heavy rain fell from the sky, and everywhere in Chinatown people were fighting in underground boxing matches, while I came alone to Long Ji Tong's territory.
I'm looking for Zhao Jing!
The person receiving me was called Li Yang, the #1 fighter of Long Ji Tong.
Who is Xiao Jing to you?
Who is she to you?
Why are you looking for her?
I'll tell her when I see her.
That's not going to happen.
You know, I could have diced these slow as shit onions on my way in. Might not be so polite on my way out. With just a few words from me, the atmosphere instantly became filled with tension, and I could feel that my younger sister's status in Long Ji Tong was definitely not simple. In order to see my sister, the #1 fighter and I began a friendly sparring match. Obviously, Li Yang was testing my moves, and I, who had just arrived in America, was full of impatience and arrogance. This could increase my courage to charge forward without fear, until every one of my attacks felt like kicking an iron plate. She is Xiao Jing, the younger sister I searched for across half the world.
Xiao Jing.
But there was no joy of reunion on her face. Back then, I was too competitive and reckless, and killed a warlord's son, which forced her to marry that warlord. She was full of resentment toward me as her brother. What's more, now she has changed her name to Mai Ling, and has become the woman of Long Jitong's boss.
Xiao Jing, please.
My name is Mai Ling. Xiao Jing was a stupid farm girl who died in Sun Yang's bed.
In the end, our reunion ended unhappily, but what I didn't know was that her current identity was far more complicated than I had imagined. After returning to the restaurant, the landlady, Atoy, saw that I was in low spirits and took the initiative to talk with me, but she had actually already developed feelings for me with the help of alcohol. We slept together, but what I didn't know was that Toy's identity was also far from ordinary. She changed into a black robe and appeared at the entrance of an Irish pub waiting until the two men who had abused Chinese workers appeared.
What the fuck?
At this moment, I was still in my room practicing boxing, completely unaware that I was about to be drawn into this murder case. The deaths of the two white men made the police chief furious.
Bring me my goddamn murderers. Dead or alive.
At this time, Xiao Zun and I were collecting protection money, when unexpectedly, a wealthy woman stood up for a Chinese shop owner. This made us unable to resist taking a few extra looks as she was leaving. Her glove fell to the ground. I immediately picked it up and chased after her.
What the fuck?
But not long after the wealthy woman left, she was harassed by two drunk men. A young patrol officer came over to break up the dispute, but was knocked down with a single punch. I thought it was going to be a perfect damsel in distress rescue, until I was knocked unconscious by a strike from a police baton. The police chief didn't care what had happened, nor did he listen to any explanation.
Wait, officer, he was defending us. It was these two drunks who attacked us.
All he saw was a chink hitting a white man for him. That was enough. Soon, I was taken back to the police station. I remembered Wang Zhou's warning, so no matter how they questioned me, I remained silent. As a result, I even lost my name in their records. All they left me with was an insulting label. Meanwhile, the mayor's wife tried to speak on my behalf, but her husband didn't care about the truth at all in his eyes. Votes were far more important than justice. What I didn't know was that this was only the beginning. The police chief couldn't find the killer of the two white men, so he decided to pin the case on me. Evidence. That didn't matter at all. What mattered was that I was wearing Hopway's colors, and I was a chink that alone was enough to force a confession out of me. The police chief even put several dangerous inmates into my cell. His intentions couldn't have been more obvious.
You boys behave yourselves, you hear me?
Hey, pun face. Open your goddamn eyes. Fuck you.
Although the days of imprisonment were making my body weaker and weaker, the anger in my heart was growing stronger and stronger. The police chief had been casually smoking a cigarette, but when he saw what was happening inside the cell, he froze in shock.
Is it safe for me to come in there and drag those guys out?
I can't make any promises.
I knew it wouldn't change anything. I was still the lamb waiting to be slaughtered. What I didn't know was that someone had quietly solved the problem for me. Two white laborers were leisurely having dinner with their families until the door was kicked open. The one who acted was the top enforcer of the Long Zitong. At that moment, my sister walked in. She didn't waste any words and went straight up to the laborer's daughter.
You will not testify.
The hell I want?
And in return, we'll leave your family alive.
You get away from her.
It would be a lot of work, I imagine. Burying a family this large.
Okay. We won't testify. We won't go.
The next day, because a key witness was absent, the judge stripped their right to testify on the spot for contempt of court. The white men screamed in protest, while the corner of my mouth couldn't help but lift. The most ironic part was, the mayor appeared in front of the media. He began to describe everything his wife had suffered, while also making sure to gain voter support. Afterwards, Wang Zhou picked me up from the police station. When I found out that the one who acted wasn't from Hop Wei Tong, I guessed it was my sister who had saved me. Later, Xiao Zun threw me a release party. Just then, the head of Hop Wei Tong walked in. Everyone thought he had come to make a toast. But in fact, he came to lay down gang rules, without his permission. No one was allowed to enter the white men's territory on their own, and no one could act against the white men under the gang's name.
Drop your hands. Drop your fucking hands.
When Chink was eating in America, everyone was staring at the chopsticks in his hand.
Now, what are you yellow fellas eating?
Moleko.
And what are you doing with those damn sticks? Nobody ever teach you any table manners? You got tables in China? Or do y'all just eat off the floor like dogs?
I finally couldn't take it anymore and stood up. The drunk white man still hadn't realized it. As he walked toward me, everyone in the saloon suddenly fell silent, but he just kept shouting and causing a scene. Just then, the priest stepped in to mediate, and even offered to buy the drunk a drink. The drunk got what he wanted, and took the opportunity to back down, but he didn't realize that the priest had just saved his life. But just as Xiao Zun went to the bar to get a drink,
Don't stand next to me, you fucking worm.
Xiao Zun's temper was far worse than mine, but the drunk pulled out a gun. He thought a gun could solve everything. What he didn't expect was... Just a few days earlier, I had earned the approval of the leader of Huey Hall and became a core member of the organization. Xiao Zun and I were ordered to travel to the west and transport a coffin back. It was said that inside was the body of a friend of the leader. On the way back, a white woman looked at us with disgust.
When we agreed to take the later coach, no one said anything about riding with Chinamen. Aren't there laws against this? It's a well-known fact that they carry diseases, for God's sake.
Keep your voice down, dear.
It's not like they can understand me.
I didn't argue with her. I just pretended not to understand English.
I mean, God, the smell alone.
What the wealthy lady didn't know was that the chink she looked down on would later save her life. Just then, the stagecoach suddenly came to a stop.
The horses are done. Never gonna make it to Moonflat before nightfall. We're gonna have to stay here till daybreak tomorrow. Everyone, out!
Everyone got off the coach one after another, but no one noticed that the driver seemed to be waiting for something. And then the scene from the beginning happened. Clearly, this group of bandits were the people the driver had been waiting for. But what I didn't expect was that their real objective was to steal our coffin.
What do you want a corpse for? Let them keep it.
Things started to get complicated.
Coffin outside. Now.
Fuck your mother.
Kill him.
I told you, keep your guns pointed from a distance. Unfortunately, the bandit leader took advantage of the chaos and ran. and the foolish noblewoman blamed us for taking action, almost getting everyone killed. But I wasn't in the mood to argue with her. I just wanted to know what was really inside the coffin. When we pried it open, nothing seemed unusual, until I cut open the body's abdomen.
My God.
The veins of gold ore behind those gold nuggets were the real reason we had been ordered to personally escort the coffin. But now that the bandits had fled, he would definitely come back with more men. The noble couple wanted to run immediately, but in the 30-mile desert surrounding us, no one could escape. So the couple suggested handing over the gold.
That would be a great plan, if it were your gold. But it's not. So it isn't.
You speak English.
Just as we were about to leave with the coffin, the hotel owner raised his gun.
If you were a real man, you'd stay and fight.
Put down the gun.
You think he can pull that trigger before I pull mine?
The owner knew he couldn't beat us, but he had lived here for decades, and no matter what, he had to protect his loved one. In the end, we decided to stay and defend ourselves together against the approaching bandits. The bandits arrived as expected, but in front of them, there was only me.
You, the welcoming committee.
The bandits pointed their guns at my head, demanding I reveal the whereabouts of the gold, but it seemed they had forgotten what I had said.
If you leave now, I won't kill you.
Soon, the battle erupted on all fronts, but most of our side were ordinary people. Their firepower was only creating chaos. As for me, I was like a cheetah, constantly taking the bandits' lives. Just as Xiaozun was about to be in danger, an Indian girl saved him. As I snapped the last man's neck, Evrione finally breathed a sigh of relief. To save innocent lives, the priest kindly sent the bandits to meet God. In the end, the defense of the inn was a complete victory. But after a night of fighting side by side, everything returned to the way it was at daybreak.
Today they're white and we're yellow again.
Although this coffin transport had come to an end, the crisis in San Francisco was only just beginning. At a New Year's celebration, the leader of Hopway was assassinated. The blast wave from the explosion overturned the platform, leaving nothing but devastation at the scene. Fortunately, after emergency treatment, Father Yun survived, but the peace of Chinatown was blown apart.
You see who it was?
From the ink on their faces, Feng Hai, I think. I just don't know why.
Let's go find someone who does.
Afterward, we found Wang Zhou. He moved among the major factions and lived by his own code, but faced with the threat of a handgun, he still revealed the deal between Mai Ling and the Feng Hai. It turned out that not long ago, Mai Ling had approached Wang Zhou, wanting to arrange a meeting with the leader of the Feng Hai, because they were the most ruthless gang in Chinatown.
You know, they built the Great Wall to keep out savages like the Feng Hai.
But that ruthlessness was exactly what Mai Ling wanted.
The Feng Hai don't need help from anyone, especially not some Tong. And let that pussy do the talking.
You know, I had a feeling that you might feel this way.
The bitch is still talking.
Which is why I already killed you.
The leader of Feng He Tang's eyes bled, and he died on the spot. The second in command immediately killed the leader's personal guards. A failed deal turned into a bloody transfer of power. Even Wang Zhou, who moves among all the major gangs, felt a chill down his spine.
See, if I set up a meet and someone doesn't walk out, that fucks with my reputation.
And if we had told you, would you have done it?
I definitely would have charged more.
There's nothing money can't solve, if there is. It's because there's not enough money. So Mai Ling joined forces with Feng Haitang to carry out a bombing assassination on the leader of Hapwatang, the strongest gang in Chinatown. I could never have imagined that my sister's exposed ambition had spread across the entire underground order of Chinatown. Even Long Zitang's top enforcer, Li Yong, became her lover. Her goal was to replace Hapwatang and become the new king of Chinatown. But unexpectedly, although Long Zi was old, when he saw the bodies of the Feng Haitang, he instantly understood everything. To restore peace in Chinatown, he voluntarily arranged a meeting with the recovered Father Jun, but Father Jun was not one to let things go easily.
There could be no peace until the Feng Hai are dealt with. Those are my terms.
Long Zi hesitated for a long time, but finally extended a hand as a symbol of peace. Xiao Zun was confused by this reconciliation.
Only to say goodbye. We won't be seeing him again.
He didn't intend to let Long Zi go, and Long Zi saw Father Jun's murderous intent. He hid with Mai Ling, but their hiding place was discovered.
What happened?
Hey, Mai Ling.
Fuck you.
Assam!
Father Jun sent news through Boro, but unexpectedly, Xiao Zun told it to me.
Bolo's already on his way to dicing his bitch wife.
I froze on the spot. My appearance caught him off guard.
What the fuck are you doing?
But it doesn't matter anymore, because the moment I came here, I had already betrayed Hapwatang. I lost my axe, which made Bolo's momentum surge. Every single attack was hell-bent on splitting me in two. Seizing that chance, I forced him back, but that also left me completely disadvantaged. Every kick Bolo threw made me stagger backward, but soon my chance came. This is a narrow hallway. His kicks will be greatly weakened, and that will be my best chance to beat him. After crippling one of his arms, I was ready to stop. After all, he and I are from the same gang. But soon something unexpected happened. It was Mai Ling waking up from her coma. The look in her eyes now felt unfamiliar to me. My once gentle, timid little sister could now pick up a weapon and kill a threat without hesitation.
Xiaojing.
We need to get out of here.
Now I'm caught in a dilemma, and I haven't realized yet that I'm being used by my own sister. When Mai Ling coaxed Long Ji to sleep, she thoughtfully tucked him in and picked up the long blade.
So, they've managed to kill me after all. I'm glad it's you.
Close your eyes.
Just yesterday, Mei Ling used my hands to kill Bolo and hang his body on the Long Zitang's territory. When Father Jun found out, he was furious, according to his expectations. No one from Long Zitang should have been able to stop Bolo. He stared at his body, my eyes complicated.
Okay, they want a war. Let's give them one.
Only now did I realize I had been used by my sister at this moment. After Mei Ling killed Long Ziqi, she successfully took the position of Long Zitang's leader. And the first thing she did was to prove herself. The best way to do that was by fighting. Both sides suffered heavy losses in this battle, which instead gave the senator an opportunity to push for an anti-Chinese bill. Wang Zhou realized the Chinese community was in crisis and hurriedly acted as a mediator between the two gangs.
Tomorrow, 3 o'clock.
The reason for the conflict was mainly about profit. The Chamber of Commerce chairman suggested that each side send one person to fight. The losing side would cede half of their drug business.
So do we. Mai Ling?
Okay. Let's go.
And Father Jun decided that I would fight.
Assam will be our champion against Alongzi. You will avenge Bolo's death, and by killing Liang.
I nodded in agreement, but the reason I came to America was only to bring my sister home. I didn't want to get involved in this trouble. Soon it was time for the fight. The place was packed with spectators. Even the police couldn't help but watch. Long Zitang sent their top enforcer Liang. The first time I fought him, I suffered a heavy loss. This time, I have to be careful. This is the underground fight arena in Chinatown. Whoever takes off the other person's belt wins. And the prize is half of the losing gang's drug business. I was completely locked in. A hook followed by a sidekick. The brief advantage boosted my momentum. Even the white sheriff couldn't help but complain about the fight between Chinese men.
I don't know what the hell kind of boxing this is, but if they could all fight like this, we'd be in some deep shit.
In the second round, Li Yong took the initiative to attack, trying to replace defense with offense. Several full power attacks of mine were blocked, causing my stamina to drain quickly. Even my breathing began to get heavier. In the third round, I started focusing on defense, and soon used his takedown attempt to successfully get on top of him. As long as I dislocated his arm, this match would be easy to win. At this critical moment, the leaders of both gangs secretly clenched their fists. A straight punch landed directly on his liver. Li Yong now was almost unable to fight back. A front kick completely ended the match. I looked at my sister in the crowd, and once again proved myself with my strength. As long as I took off his belt, this match would truly be won. But then something unexpected happened. In every boxing match, both sides hold their breath and grit it out, but now I was caught completely off guard, and that breath unconsciously slipped away. Instead, Li Yong exploded in the face of defeat. As my nose was broken, Zunyi stood up and left in disappointment.
Where are you going?
He's finished.
No, he's not. He'll get up. Come on, stop! Get up!
Honestly, this result doesn't shock me in the slightest. Li Yong wrapped his arm around my neck and looked toward Mei Ling. The determined look on my sister's face made me completely give up hope. Li Yong didn't really want to kill me. He just had to win for the woman he loved. Although I was saved by the police captain's gunshot, I had already been abandoned by the whole world. After losing the fight, Wei Tong would lose part of its drug business. Father Jun was furious, but he still decided to keep his promise. He believed that Mai Ling, as a woman, would definitely fail in the drug business.
What about Assam? He fought for us.
And he lost. He's of no use to us anymore.
At this time, Yakai took me in. In a daze, I remembered my childhood, the days when I practiced martial arts with my master. I also remembered Xiao Jing from back then. The intense pain brought me back to reality. After Yakai used opium to ease my pain, she began to treat my injuries. With Yakai's careful care, my body gradually recovered, but I still couldn't understand why I had lost to Li Yong.
He was fighting for something he believed in. He had purpose. You didn't.
Because I was forbidden from joining any gang, I became a Chinese laborer doing hard work. I had just laid down to rest.
She's over.
Before I could get enough sleep, it was already time to work again, doing the hardest and most exhausting work, yet eating the thinnest porridge. That day, Xiao Zun suddenly came to me. It turned out that Hop Wei Tong was being jointly suppressed by Long Zi Tong and Feng Hai Tong. So he wanted me to go back and help him.
I didn't walk away. I fought for you. I almost died in there, and then you tossed me out like I was garbage.
Look, there are rules. I didn't make them. I don't like them. But I'm here to fix it.
Take care of yourself, Youngjun.
You're not a fucking coolie.
I'm not a hatchet man.
No? Then what the hell are you?
Seeing this, Wang Zhou beside me told the story of how he had been sold to Cuba and lived as a slave for 11 years. Although he went through many hardships, he changed his own fate.
You know why?
Why?
Because I know I'm not a fucking slave. Now, you got your ass kicked. It happens, but I'm not buying this whole coolie act. Warriors have only two paths. Get killed or get better.
I had never suffered as much as he had, so I still didn't understand, until I saw a fellow worker collapse from exhaustion and stop breathing. Whenever the Irish lost their jobs, they took revenge on everyone who still had one. Just as he raised the hammer again, a hand suddenly stopped him. That is right, it was me. The death of the Chinese laborer that day made me understand the story Wang Zhou had told. It also made me think about what I should be fighting for. The Irish foreman watched all of his men get taken down, so he took the opportunity to punch me in the chest. Although it was our first time meeting, I could tell at a glance that this guy was not simple.
I know you.
The long hours of hard labor had left me exhausted. Fortunately, the police arrived.
I'm gonna find you, Jake. I'll so.
At that moment, I finally understood who my real enemy was, and it gave me faith again.
You're alive.
I'm starting to feel that way.
So thank Yakai for saving my life. I brought her a gift, those 2 Irishmen who had injured the Chinese workers with hammers. Then I revealed my real purpose.
In the meantime, I figured you could use some help now and then. You know, fighting back.
Like you said, it's a fight we can't win.
It's okay. Turns out I've got a somewhat different skill set.
I want to stay with Hop Wai Tong, live for myself, and fight for my fellow countrymen.